Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. About a month ago, I released a video on this channel explaining that I was going to go full-time as a content creator. I will be a full-time content creator starting September 1st. In that video, last month, I promised you guys that I was going to give you a bit of an overview of what my plans were, how I was going to go about this, how I was going to approach this new journey as a content creator. But I do think I have kind of an idea where I want to go. And by the end of this video, you should be up to date on what is coming and what has changed, what is going to change in all of the content that I make. Now, let me add that my plan currently is not set in stone. I don't think that is a good idea. When you approach a new adventure like this, you need to be flexible. You need to be able to change or pivot. My girlfriend is going to love that. She says I use pivot in every single video I make, and she is kind of right. But don't tell her. But you need to be able to do that if you want to grow. Just kind of putting your eye in the distance and walking straight to that point is never a good idea. There might be some potholes along the way, who knows, a ravine, anything could happen. So you need to be able to adjust. And especially in my case, because I feel I still have a lot to learn when it comes to making content. I have learned a lot about the technical side. I have honed my presentation skills to a certain degree, but I need to keep building on all of that and also explore things I'm not as familiar with. I have noticed in the last few months that I have a few black spots that I need to solve. One being YouTube, for instance, as a platform, how to best present my content to you guys. Be more flexible and understanding of what you guys need on all of these platforms or all of these channels that I'm setting up. And the second part is the business part. I'm not too worried about that because I have experience in other industries on how to set that up, and I'm kind of confident that I'll find a way to make that happen with your support, of course, but more on that later. So my point is that everything that is in this video might turn out to be different in, let's say, 6 months to a year, because I need to learn, I need to adjust, and I need to grow. All right, let's get started. My whole future in content creation is based on 3+1 pillars. I'll explain the +1 at the end. And each of these 3+1 pillars actually has 3 segments or chapters, whatever you want to call it. The first one being video content, the second being social media content, and the third one being audio content, in other words, podcasts. And let me start out with the most important one, the biggest one, the Omnic Post. This is a bit of a tough one. It feels really personal because I have invested a lot of my time in the last 6 years in that brand. And I want to make one thing clear, I'm not about to give up on the Omnic Post. That is not going to happen anytime soon. But I'm definitely asking myself if all the effort that I've been putting into that brand have paid off up till now. In a way it did, because most of you that are watching this video are people that found me through that brand or people I got to know through doing that brand. That's the thing, of course. Up till September 1st, it's a hobby. Starting September 1st, it becomes a job, and I need to think about the possibilities and if I see a future in which I actually make money off that brand. And that definitely does exist, but it will heavily depend on what happens with Overwatch in the next few months. There's a few things I can do, and I'm working on that. There are new types of content that I'm thinking about. And to be honest, I would like to hear from you guys, so let me know in the comments what type of content you would like to see on the Omnic Post. And as I said earlier, each of these pillars will have 3 segments. And in the case of the Omnic Post, it is the YouTube channel. The Omnic Post on Instagram and Twitter is the social part, and there's the Omnic Weekly, the podcast I do with Hannah and LP. Those all exist, so go check them out. So I'm not only looking into doing new types of content on video, you can also expect some new topics on Instagram and Twitter, and the podcast is also going to evolve. Starting next week, it is becoming a video podcast, and we have some other plans, but more about that later. That being said, I'm also going to start develop these new brands, these other brands that I've been working on for a while in some cases, and in others that are pretty new. And I'm doing this again in a way to research and to learn. If I keep following that track of Overwatch and focus too hard, one, there's a chance I might get bored or frustrated because it isn't working, it isn't clicking. And by pursuing other ideas and other types of content, I think every lesson I learn will get tested twice, or in some cases 4 times even. And it will give me a lot more input. It will give me a lot more to work with. It's kind of a weird idea, but that's how my brain works. To make a weird comparison, it's like you considering to buy a new PC, and the only thing you're looking at is the graphic card. You're not looking at the hard drive, you're not looking at the memory, and you might end up buying a crap SPC with a good graphic card. But anyways, let me just jump in and start with something kind of new. Not too long ago, I started a channel called Damesy's Place, where I played different games, other games than Overwatch, and recorded it with my comments over it, which was fun to do, which gave me a chance to play some other games than Overwatch, but it is not the most engaging content, and it is not the most challenging content. It's not what people are looking for. It's not what YouTube is looking for. So I'm going to kind of change that project. I'm really doing my best to not say the word pivot again in this video. I just did, didn't I? Yeah. In any case, I'm going to change that Dames' Plays brand into something I started, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, which was called Scopic. And Scopic was an attempt of mine to take the concept I had built with the Omnic Post that has been well copied since, but I wanted to try it into making it a more general gaming brand. I stepped away from that because I noticed that people aren't looking for a wide range of gaming news. People want to know about specific games they play. And second, it was near impossible to do this all by myself. So I had this brand somewhere in the drawer, and I'm going to pull it out again, and Dames' Plays has been transformed into Scopic, and first video for that brand is coming really soon. Now, what is the idea behind that new channel, or that old channel turned into a new one? Is more general gaming news, but from a very specific perspective as a former, at that point, gaming professional, and to try and give my insights on why certain things happen, why certain games fail, what we can expect from other games. So it is going to be interesting for you as gamers to learn about all the games that are coming and which you should keep an eye on, and add in a little layer of information that you guys appreciate on the Omnic Post. That more nuanced and slightly educated insight on everything that is happening. And I'm not going to be doing that by myself. I'm actually looking into making that a channel that I'm doing with a co-host. I'll reveal who that is at some point in the future, and that is going to slowly ramp up throughout the summer, and then hopefully near the end of the year we'll be taking off, and you can expect regular content on that channel. Scopic will also have 3 of those segments I talked about earlier, but in this case, in the first instance, we'll be focusing on the video. The social aspect and the podcast is something that is on the back burner because I want to see how the video part kind of evolves, what you guys are looking for and what you guys find interesting, to extrapolate that to these segments. Third pillar is going to be Geek and Plunder, a brand I started back in the pandemic. There's a YouTube and TikTok channel for that brand. In the first instance, my idea with that brand was basically doing unboxing of all kind of geeky stuff. And while it was a lot of fun to do, there were some practical issues. First off, I needed to buy all that stuff. They're not going to give it to me with my small-ass channel. And on top of that, again, it is fun to make the occasional unboxing video, but just have an unboxing every single week, not the type of content I'm looking for. I guess I like talking a little too much. But anyways, that channel is kind of on the back burner right now. But there also was a podcast tied into that channel, and I did that podcast with Hilda, my girlfriend. Now, we also kind of halted that for other reasons that I'm not going to elaborate on, but that is coming back this summer. So for now, Geek and Plunder is mainly going to be a podcast, which is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, Hilda is a fun partner to talk with on a podcast, till she kicks me under the table. It happens every single time. But I'm looking forward to further building that, and in due time, Geek and Plunder, the video channel, is also going to be resurrected, but more like a copy of Scopic in the Omnic Post for geeky stuff. I just need to find the right angle. I would love to talk about all Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Disney, all that kind of stuff, but there's plenty of channels that do that already. I need to find a certain niche, something interesting that I can add to all of that content to make it interesting for you guys, because you are the most important asset in all of this. Without you guys, I'm just talking to myself, which I do plenty of already. So I'm looking at that as a 2024 project. Now, that's 3. What is the +1? Well, it's this channel. It's the channel you guys are watching this video on. To be honest, it's my favorite of all channels. I love having this interaction with you guys. It actually takes the best part of my whole community and brings them all together right here on this channel. The people that watch these videos, the people that are here, are the creme de la creme of my community. You guys are awesome. Like, the support I'm getting of all of you is humbling. I've said it before. I want to share this journey with you. That's what I've said from the start. This channel is going to be about sharing my experience, hoping it helps some of you with whatever you are doing, but showing you what happens behind the scenes. And I'm also going to kind of slide in some parts of my life that don't necessarily have to be about content. Some of my travels, some of my life stories. This is basically the spot where we talk to each other. And I'm looking forward to building this and building this community. So that is everything I have planned. But there's more. That is such a classic. There's more! As I said, up till now it has been a hobby and it's going to become a job. And you need to create an income with the job. And the way I want to create that income is by basically adding value to everything I do for the people that are willing to support. There are going to be Patreon pages being set up with a lot of extra content, like with Q&A sessions, with access to Discord, with extra episodes of the podcasts we do, with physical rewards. I'm also going to restart my whole merchandising story. I have a lot of awesome ideas I've had for years, and now is the time to further develop that, to get all of that started. I'm going to be looking for interesting partnerships. These are the kinds of opportunities I'll be looking for so I can keep this train rolling, because starting September 1st, that countdown starts 12 to 16 months, and I'm in this for the long run. All right, I guess I said everything I needed to say. It's going to help me to sleep a little better now that I shared all my plans with you. I won't feel like I'm doing all of this by myself. So I'm looking forward to seeing the comments. Guys, thank you very much for watching and for listening to this most likely lengthy video. I'll see you in the next one, which shouldn't be too long. Till then, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye-bye.